Welcome back to The Explainer. We're diving straight into a deeply chilling mystery today, a seemingly perfect crime that was literally busted wide open by one tiny, almost invisible slip-up. It's an absolutely fascinating look at how one single overlooked detail can just completely unravel an entirely fabricated reality.
So think about this. How exactly does a 10-year-old witness become the key to solving a perfect murder, and at the exact same time covering one up, right? It sounds like a total paradox. Well, let's step straight into the crime scene to figure out how a traumatized kid became the absolute center of this terrifying, incredibly deceptive puzzle.
Section 1. The Sole Witness. A 10-year-old boy. It all kicks off in a quiet suburban home at night, right after the unthinkable has happened. It's exactly 9 p.m. A school teacher, Michael Turner, is found dead from a severe head injury inside his own house. And the place is just completely ransacked. I mean, things are thrown everywhere. Drawers are yanked wide open. But smack in the middle of all this sheer chaos, the police find someone totally unexpected. A 10-year-old boy.
Now, the crime scene itself is incredibly baffling. There are absolutely no fingerprints found anywhere. Clearly, the killer was meticulous, likely wearing gloves. But here's the real kicker. There are zero signs of forced entry. Think about what that actually implies for a second. It means Mr. Turner almost certainly opened the door himself. He literally let his killer inside.
So the only lead for our lead investigator, Detective Nathan Cole, is this trembling, terrified 10-year-old named Eli Carter. Just picture this poor kid, eyes wide with fear, whispering to the police. He claims he witnessed the whole horrifying event unfold. He tells them, "I saw him. A man came in. Then Mr. Turner screamed. The man killed him." But when they ask if he recognized the guy, Eli just shakes his head no.
But you know what's really interesting about his testimony? It's the sheer level of detail. Eli gives this remarkably specific description of the killer. He specifically notes a black jacket, a deep voice, and mentions the man sounded really angry. Now, Detective Cole pauses when he hears this. He kind of can't help but wonder, can a 10-year-old really lock in all those specific sensory details while in a state of pure panic? It's a red flag. A subtle one, sure, but a red flag nonetheless. Moving on to Section 2, the prime suspect, Jason Miller. Despite the detectives' fleeting doubts about the kid's memory, a massive break in the case suddenly drops in their laps. CCTV footage from a nearby shop captures a man matching Eli's exact description, wearing a black jacket, entering the building at 8:45 p.m. That is just 15 minutes before the estimated time of the murder at 9. The timeline lines up absolutely perfectly. The police waste no time tracking down the guy from the camera. His name is Jason Miller, and when they bring him in for questioning, Jason actually admits he was at the apartment building. But, and this is a big but, he fiercely insists that Michael Turner was already dead when he arrived. Pretty convenient excuse, right? Naturally, the police aren't buying it for a second. Then, Jason's whole alibi completely falls apart during the police lineup. Young Eli looks right at him, voice shaking, and officially makes the identification. He points and just says, "That's him." So, with a positive ID from their only eyewitness, a perfectly aligned timeline, and cold hard video evidence putting him at the scene, the police think they've nailed their guy. It really seems like the case is closed right then and there. Section 3. A flaw in the story. A missing detail. All right, this is where our explainer takes a massive, dramatic turn. Detective Cole's gut instincts simply will not let him accept this neat, tidy conclusion. Why? Because of one glaring physical impossibility. Think about it. Eli was hiding in the next room, and the door was closed. Now, sure, he might have seen the killer through a crack in the door, or maybe a keyhole. That totally explains the visual of the black jacket. But how on earth did he know exactly what his deep, angry voice sounded like through a solid, closed door, especially over the chaotic sounds of a violent struggle?
Section 4. The unreleased detail. The trap is set.
To really test this flaw, Detective Cole brings little Eli back into the interrogation room, and he asks him one highly specific, laser-focused question. What exactly did the man say? Eli pauses. The whole room falls completely uncomfortably silent, and then he softly delivers this incredibly chilling quote. He said, "Tonight, you die."
bam! This brilliantly springs the detective's trap. Because that highly specific phrase, "tonight you die," was completely unknown to the police. It had never, ever been recorded in the official files, and certainly never released to the public. There was absolutely no possible way a witness could know it unless they had heard it firsthand, or been part of the crime itself.
Detective Cole leans in, looks the kid right in the eye, and confronts him with this undeniable fact. He says, "That sentence was never in the police report. So how do you know that?" Instantly, the young boy's entire facade just breaks. His face goes paper white, tears well up in his eyes. He is officially caught.
Section 5. The staged alibi. The final truth.
The absolute truth that finally spills out from this crying boy reveals a dark, meticulously calculated plot that changes literally everything we thought we knew about this case. You see, Eli didn't witness a random stranger committing the murder at all. Actually, scratch that, he didn't see anything happen in that room. He already knew exactly what was going to happen, because the true killer was his own older brother, Ryan Carter.
Let's break down exactly how they built this incredible deception. Step 1. Prior to the murder, the brothers stood in the very next room, and Eli listened to his older brother plan the entire thing out loud. Step 2. Ryan goes in and actually commits the murder. And Step 3. They craft this brilliant staged alibi, where Eli uses his innocent 10-year-old appearance to act as a fake witness. He basically feeds a completely false narrative to the cops, perfectly misdirecting them onto a random, unlucky suspect like Jason Millett.
It's just a profound realization when you step back and look at it. The primary witness was actually an active, willing part of a staged alibi. This entire elaborate, chilling deception completely unraveled simply because of one small, over-rehearsed piece of dialogue. Just one tiny, unreleased verbal detail that Eli had absolutely no business knowing if he was truly just cowering behind a closed door.
This entire case perfectly highlights a terrifying reality. The absolute most dangerous lie you can tell is the one that sounds exactly like the truth. I mean, the brothers' plan almost worked. It relied on incredibly believable elements, a scared kid, a matching physical description, a super convenient suspect. But in the end, it was just a little too perfect.
Which leaves us with one final, kind of unsettling thought to chew on. What perfectly constructed stories in our own world right now are hiding a fatal flaw right in plain sight? Seriously, the next time you hear a truly perfect narrative, whether it's on the news, sitting in a courtroom, or just in your own daily life, ask yourself what unreleased details might be lurking just beneath the surface, just waiting to unravel the whole shebang. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning the details, guys, and I'll see you next time.